All right, tell them like it is. Oakland A's Weekly. Keep you up to date on the Oakland A's. The sweet sound of this week in baseball. Very youngster. 40-year-old will never this one, man. Best half hour on TV every week. Can't get any better than that. Awesome stuff. Really awesome stuff. As we sign out of that for a sec here, and we get into the Oakland A's. I remember last week we said if we were 9-8, we'd be ecstatic. And we are 9-8, so we're all a little bit pumped up. But at the same time, like to be able to get more than 2 out of 3 from more than 1 out of 3 from the Texas Rangers. But hey, we're 9-8. We've had 10 games on the road. We already had a West Coast, East Coast swing, so I got one more East Coast swing, which I'll be maybe stopping by Yankee Stadium. It's in a couple of weeks, and I'll get back out there. But we'll see what happens. But so far, so good. Our hitting cooled off for runners in scoring position. Murph struggled there with a couple of times, but we went 0 for 7 to one game. Lost to Rangers 2-0. Mark Kotze got ejected, which he should have, because that play at the plate was atrocious. That you said he blocked the plate. If he blocked the plate, how'd he touch it? And no one could ever answer that kind of common sense question. But here we are, Oakland A's Weekly, having a good time. And as we go down the stats here, as we got them on the board right now, Sean Murphy having a good year, 242, 11 RBIs in 17 games. We can't complain there. Like I said, a couple of bad at bats with second and third, less than 2 outs. Pache's been real nice. I know he's only hitting 204, but at the same time, he's had some big hits for us. We're not walking enough on this team this year, and we are striking out way too much. Still a big problem for us. We'll get to that in a second. Elvis Andrus, 208. He's dropped off a little bit, on base 311. Seth Brown has been all or nothing. 12 RBIs, leading the team in RBIs, 2 home runs, had a couple of big hits, but all his hits seem to be, really like extra base hits. So it's kind of fun. He's 610 OPS. Murph's got 797 OPS. Tony Kemp, man, 268. Love him to death. Always getting it done. A couple of stolen bases. Billy McKinney, I don't know what the love affair is or who he has naked pictures of here. And the A's organization, I'm not seeing it. Plus, I keep thinking he's the old Billy McKinney we had a couple of years back. Newsay's been pretty good. 313 has been our best hitter, showing a great propensity to hit the ball to right field when the game's on the line, and I love that. It's a real baseball player, not the crap that we watch on most of these games. By the way, scoring and everything else is down in Major League Baseball. Hitting, OPS, batting average, and we'll get to that a little later as well. Kevin Smith really struggling with the stick. Had a couple of COVID battles. The guy I really like is Christian Betancourt. He's shown ability to catch, play first. I'm looking forward to getting Pinder back, hitting 237. He was doing okay. Piscotty got a big hit last night, 280, 2 nights ago, 286. I'm hoping he can keep him healthy. Every time he's gotten healthy the last couple of years, he's had a good streak. He's flamed out a little bit. Nick Allen, I like the glove. Obviously, the stick is a little light right now. Drew, and I think we're going to be all right. Mickey McDonald's, we haven't had a big enough sample size yet, and Christian Lope, same thing, and Drew Jackson also. But so far, so good. We got to get a little healthier. No doubt about that. When you look at the pitching numbers, again, we had some strange COVID issues here. Frankie's been great. Really, we screwed him the other day. He's got more than 1 strikeout per inning. He's got a 0.81 whip, 2-2 with a 3.28 ERA. Blackburn's been very nice. Got a 0.8 whip. And again, we're not walking guys, which has been really nice. Really good stuff. We're not striking out a ton of guys either, but at the same time, that's not going to be what our pitching staff is. But pitching staff's been pretty good. Cole Irvin 2-1, but a 3.332 ERA. Domingo Acevedos has good moments. They had one really bad inning to make that ERA what it is. Dalton Jeffries has been great. He's starting tonight, 1.17 ERA. Really loving Dalton Jeffries right now. Jimenez looks like the future closer. We got to deal Lou Trevino eventually and get something back here. I like Danny Jimenez a lot. Zach Jackson's been good. The kid who's really struggled is, Aller or Olaire, however you want to say it. He's really been pounded. You could see that he's got really good stuff. But he reminds me of our young lefty who we had to trade away last year. He's got great stuff, but he misses in the middle of the plate, and he gets pounded. He's 0-2 at 11.17 ERA. But again, I'm willing to keep running him out there, although every time he seems to go out there, he just puts us in a tremendous hole. Got the Cespedes jersey on today, by the way. You're on telling like it is. Justin Grimm's been spotty. Sam Moll's been pretty good when he's been called on. Puck, we got to keep him healthy. Jesus, guys gets COVID after all the arm injuries this year's. Sam Selman just went back down. Trevino's been spotty. Kolarek, you haven't really used him a lot. Kirby Sneed seems to be pretty good. Castellani's okay. So again, the pitching staff's already had a tremendous amount of guys on the pitching staff. We already have used 6, 9, 12, about 19 pitchers because of the COVID issues and a couple of injury issues. But no, I feel like the guys are going to be pretty good. I'm looking forward to the season as a whole. I mean, 9-8. Well, this week we got 5 games coming up. We got 2 with the Giants and the Bay Bridge. And then we got the Indians, not the Guardians, because that's just the stupidest crap I've ever heard in my life. So it is the Indians. That's what we're going to call them here because this is telling it like it is, and we're not subscribing to bullshit. So we'll call them the Indians. Wasn't offensive for 100 years, and all of a sudden somebody's offended. Well, get over yourself. You can call someone the Caucasians, I won't get upset. You can call someone the Irishman, I won't get upset. You can call someone the Englishman, I won't get upset. I'm not really worried about it. But you can call someone the any Irish slur you want, I won't get upset. But fighting Irish doesn't upset me. So we go from there. We got, like I said, in the extended statistics here, expanded statistics for hitting. Let's see what we got for expanded statistics for hitting. Batting average, base on produced walks. Yeah, it's okay. Nobody's doing that great. The hitting has been okay. I mean, runners in scoring position are pretty good, so we can't complain there. We'll look at the statistics here for all the teams here in Major League Baseball, and when you go down the line and you check it out, you see where your team's made. And I do like this year that we can put everybody up there, and it's not divided between National and American because of the DH. So now we can just check out total team leaders, and I really enjoy this that we can look at the statistics and just be totally positive with it. Batting average, again, we're down. We're down at the bottom. We're 27th in batting average, a 209 batting average. That's pretty bad. That's something we're a little concerned about. If you look at our slugging percentage, again, we're 23rd. We're at 341. However, if you go to runs, we're, for some reason, like last week, we really cooled off. We're down to 69 runs. Now we're 13th. We were first in runs before that. So that's not a good situation. RBIs last time we were 3rd. Let's see where we are now. We're 15th. Strikeouts, I'm afraid we're going to be near the top here. Strikeouts, yet we're 4th. We're negative in that category. Stolen bases, we're in the middle, which is weird for us. On base percentage, we'll see what we get here. On base percentage, we're near the bottom again. So again, the offense is starting to turn back to like a Bush offense here, and Bush is still in the dugout, so I think it might be a Bush problem. So like I said, slugging percentage is one thing. OPS, who everybody seems to love, while arguing with me that batting average doesn't matter. Well, if OPS matters, how the hell can batting average not matter? I guess it's a big part of your OPS. Matter of fact, it's one of the biggest parts of your OPS. I don't know how the hell someone can tell you batting average doesn't matter. So 619 OPS, again, we're falling off in all those statistical areas. Pitching wise, let's check this out here. Pitching's been pretty solid. ERA, we're 9th in the league at a 3.31, which is excellent. Strikeouts, let's see where we're at here. Strikeout situation, we're 15th. Like I said, not a lot of power pitches on our squad here. Whip, we're 15th. So we're in the middle of the road out of the 30 teams here in pitching, but team ERA, we're 9th, and that's where it really seems to matter. And we're doing a fine job here. Earn runs, but let's see how many giving up home runs. I don't feel like we've been giving up too many homers. I feel like we're in good shape in this regard. Again, we're 16th in this area. So you say, well, we're about in the middle of everything, and we're 9-8. For us to be 9-8, though, is wonderful. Like I said, 2 games against the Giants, who are very good. Giants can be pissed off from that series they had last week with the Mets. So if I could get 1 game versus the Giants, I'd be tickled pink. The series starts tonight. It's like I said, 9:15 on the East Coast right now. And so we'll see if we can get 1 game there. And then we got the Indians for 3, not the Guardians. Screw that. And we'll see how that goes. We got Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If we could ever get out of here 3-2 again, I would just be ecstatic. I mean, the Indians are actually better than we think. Ramirez has been very, very, very impressive, and you can see that they're off to a better start than we all thought. As we look at the standings, Toronto Blue Jays out 11-6. Yankee fans are now not jumping off the bridge as much anymore after they pounded on the Tigers. And so the Tigers got swept by the Yanks, but the Blue Jays and the Yanks are tied really in first and lost column. Orioles are where they belong. Red Sox off to a sluggish start. Twins 8-8. Of course, the Central is somebody team's going to make the playoffs with a 500 record. And then, of course, the West, which is loaded. Mariners 10-6, Angels 10-7, A's 9-8. Houston Astros off to a surprisingly slow start at 7-9. Rangers 6-10, even though they took 2 or 3 from us. Mets off to a great start. Second best record in baseball. They've already opened up a 4.5 game lead in their division. The Phillies, very disappointing. Braves, a little sluggish. Nationals will be selling Doolittle before you know it, former A. St. Louis Cardinals, who the Mets beat last night. The Cardinals blew that game. You never see Arenado boot that ball, but he did. Brewers and the Cardinals about tied, basically. Cubs, very disappointing with a lot of talent. You just got to ask yourself what the hell's going on over there. Dodgers off to a 12-4 start. Giants 12-5, and the Colorado Rockies surprisingly 10-6. Padres 10-7. And of course, the Diamondbacks will be sellers also backing up the rear. But just some trends in baseball. We had the outbreak of the throwing bottles at the Yankee Stadium here in New York. On the fan sites, everybody jumping all over the Yankee fans because I guess there's just obviously natural hatred of a team that's won 27 championships. But I'd like to point out that there was a brawl the other night at the Dodger Padre game between fans. There's a brawl at the Cub game last week. So obviously, and I attribute it to a bunch of things. For one, you're serving booze, and people nowadays make going to any event, everything. Everybody seems to think that they need to pregame it. Going to an event sober anymore doesn't seem like an option for most people. I don't know where we've gone as a country where we have to get tanked up for every event. We can't be sober or straight in anything we're doing. It's a little strange. The other thing is the massive amounts of gambling in fantasy sports have let people think that the players have let them down, and they take it personally. Like Rizzo gives a crap that he's on your fantasy team. Rizzo doesn't even know who the hell you are. He has no idea that you're on his fantasy team. Matt Chapman doesn't know that he's on your fantasy team. He has no idea. But people have this affliction to think that, well, he's screwing me. Well, he's playing baseball. The fact that you picked him in your fantasy team has nothing to do with that. So I think between that, social media, sports talk, it's just made the microscope even bigger and more hot under the umbrella of the fan. I feel like the fan is just, in addition to being under the influence of a lot of these games, I feel like with all the gambling is just off the chart. $2 billion in the first month that sports gambling was made legal here in New York is it's just off the chart. So I feel like there's that more to stake, and the fans are just, their fan behavior is out of control. There's nothing good to spin it. You have fans chaining themselves to the floor at basketball games. It's just ridiculous. It's gotten to epic proportions. Referees getting attacked in youth basketball games in churches, and we're scaring away officials everywhere. And we're scaring away umpires, and as well, umpire got decked at home plate. A pitcher gave up a home run and jacked the guy coming around third base last week. It's just gotten out of hand. But the fan experience, like I said, you get someone heavily under the influence, plus with the gambling, if they're not having a good day, losing a little money, or their fantasy team's not doing well, and you're not performing up to snuff. I feel like you get all those things in one berry. It's a perfect storm. And as you know, perfect storms don't work out well. And I really feel like that's a big part of what's going on here. But in Major League Baseball right now, like I said, some really interesting stuff going on there. No controversy this week with Kershaw like we did last week. We got taken out with a perfect game. But in baseball, like I said, another thing we're seeing a lot, and this has to do with us A's fans, is a lot of people really who don't know what the hell they're talking about criticizing the A's fan. As I told you many times on this podcast, you cannot criticize whatever the A fan does this year. If they show up, great. If they don't show up, I really understand it. I understand it both ways. This is a team that's 9-8. I mean, I think we've avoided already losing 100 games just by getting off to a decent start. It doesn't guarantee you wins, but it's going to keep you off. It doesn't guarantee a great record, but it's going to keep you out of a bad record by just getting off to a decent start. And so A's fans have every right not to go to these games. Fisher has been a real dirtbag owner. He screwed the minor leaguers that year. He didn't pay them. Then he didn't feed them properly. Lying about taking 4 trips to Vegas last year. He's just not been honest with the fans the whole way. It's been a real disgrace. And so when you go on these fan sites and these people are giving A's fans grief, I mean, most of you read it, you just don't know the situation. You have not been honest with the A's fan. And again, I don't live in California. I don't live in Oakland, but you owe these people. These people have had this team since 1968. It's 54 years. You owe them some honesty. Just tell them if you're going to leave, tell them when you're going to leave so we can just save our money and not go to the games now. And of course, me, like I said, I can go to the games I watch every night. My point is, you got to be fair to these people. I mean, you can't be an honest billionaire. And I wish Major League Baseball would just take the team from Fisher. It's been disgusting. I mean, every year, every game we go to, we see another form of excellent player. And I can even live with the $33 million payroll, even though it's the same since 1991. That's not a concern. The big problem is you just want to be honest with these fans about the stadium. You owe them some honesty. Again, you're a billionaire. I don't know what the hell your problem is that you can't be honest with people. And now you want to know why you get 2,247 at a game? You're lucky you got that. I mean, really, what fan should put their hard-earned money in a tough economy with great inflation? Build Back Better, by the way. It's really working out well. Sarcasm. So what fan should put their hard-earned money on the line? I really don't feel like they owe you anything. And at this point, you're not even going to be straight with them. Are you leaving or not? Cut the crap. Give them an answer. Be supportive of their plight. All right. So the ticket prices went up, by the way. Why? I don't know. When we have a $33 million payroll, I don't know how you could justify the prices going up when you have a $33 million payroll. And I know they lost money in the COVID year and everything else, but at the same time, these people have lost their team. They're about to lose their team permanently. They're about to send their team to some launching pad in Nevada. I'd much rather go to Nashville. Just don't send me to Portland or somewhere like that. I would just, where it's raining all the time. It's just depress the crap out of you. Let's go to Nashville. All right, let's go to Nashville. Let's stay out of Vegas. We don't want the ball jumping out of the ballpark. The last time the Colorado signed a good pitcher was Mike Hampton, and that's quite a long time ago. We don't want to become a joke where we have to constantly justify our players' statistics by looking at their splits at home and on the road. So, A's fans, you should be a little bit pumped up. Like I said, 9-8, two games with the Giants. Going to be tough to get one of those. Giants are a very good team, very good pitching. Like I said, tonight we got Jeffries, so this is going to be exciting. And it should be a situation where we'll have a chance. They got calls for then, and then the bottom line tomorrow is we have Blackburn. They're undecided. So again, this is going to be fun. It's always good to play the Bay Bridge series, but they're a little bit better than us this year. Actually, a lot better than us. So if we can get one game there, I would really, really, really be excited about that. Nothing crazy with the scores across baseball right now. Yanks beating up on the Orioles 6-4. No shock there. But again, so right now we're doing all right. I don't even want to look at the playoff picture. And by the way, we're more than 10% done. So you can't say it's just the start of the season. A lot of people go, oh, you got to calm down. It's the beginning. Well, 10% is already over. This 10% is as important as any other 10%. So if you're a fool, this isn't 5 games. This is more than 10% in now. You have a 162 game season. We played 17 games. We're basically at 10%. So this does matter. All right. So if we do our calculations here on the handy dandy calculator, we got 17 divided by 162. It's 10.4%. So we're almost at 11%. You round it up, we're at 10.5%. So it's starting to get it on now. In these next 16 games, when we get to 32 games, we'll see where we are. If we're at 16-16, good God, who knows what's going on? Like I said, we've already had our road trip to Tampa. We already had a road trip to Philly. We had a road trip to Toronto. I mean, those are some tough teams. Philly's turned out to be a real lemon so far, but we don't have to go back to Tampa and Toronto. They got to come to us. So that's a little bit of a positive. Although maybe playing on the road this year will be better for the A's. One thing I like about having a young team is every night I feel like there's a new family in the ballpark watching their son play their first game, which has really been exciting. And, we just got to basically stay this course and see if we can stay healthy, stay out of this COVID situation that we got ourselves into. Got to get Jed Lowry back. And just basically, see if we can hang around and keep this roll going at 9-8. We got to hope that the fans stop throwing bottles and things. You should never be throwing stuff. Fans got to just realize there's certain things you just can't say. Just because you pay your fee doesn't mean free speech is an absolute. I teach government class all the time. Free speech is not absolute. All right. So go take a civics class. If not, reach out to me. I'll explain to you why it's not absolute. It has never been absolute. So the fact that you think because you're paying some shekels or something, it's absolute. It's not. It's not absolute. So make sure don't hate yourself. Openings weekly. Again, try to make sure that we can survive in the standings and we'll put that standings all the time here. Amazing 9-8. It's amazing that we're +9 and one difference. So it'll be all right. So we'll see you next time. Oakland A's. Look for our NBA playoff show. Don't forget. On Apple, Anchor, all the great platforms. Let us know what you think. We'll talk to you again along the line. And looking forward to seeing you again next time.